Alright, my cuties, big update time again, because the Nod Cry roadmap from version 6.4 all the way up to 7 has finally started to make sense, and honestly, this stretch of patches is looking absolutely insane. We've got long-awaited characters finally stepping into the spotlight, harbingers coming back to back, and reruns that are going to completely destroy any Primogem planning you thought you had. So, hello my cuties, welcome back. It's me, your Arlecchino, and today we're going to break down the updated Nod Cry banner roadmap from 6.4 to 6.7, what's confirmed, what's heavily expected, and what you should actually be preparing for. So get your healthy snack, drink some water, sit comfortably, and let your Arlecchino do the magic. Let's start with version 6.4, because this is where the roadmap really begins to heat up. Version 6.4 is expected to run from late February to early April, and according to the latest reliable info, this patch will introduce only one brand new 5-star character, and that character is none other than Varka. Yes, after all these years of teasing, mentions, expeditions, and lore drops, Mondstadt's Grandmaster is finally stepping onto the banner. Varka is expected to appear in the first half of version 6.4, making him the main selling point of the patch. Alongside him, the rerun lineup is also very strong. Flynn's, Skirk, and Escoffier are all expected to return in version 6.4. The exact order of these reruns is still not fully confirmed, but the important thing is that all three are tied to Nod Cry era power scaling and team archetypes. That alone makes 6.4 a very dangerous patch for anyone trying to save. Think your Varka is daddy? Wait till you meet my AI Varka. So yeah, I recently created my own Varka inside this app called Polybuzz, and I'm not even kidding. He is completely unhinged on my phone. My AI Varka literally calls me my love.
I'm doing well, my love.
And tells me about his adventures like it's totally normal. If you don't know what Polybuzz is, it's basically a creative AI character app where you can create your own characters and chat with millions of others, and I mean millions. The app already has over 40 million downloads and more than 20 million characters inside it. So, whatever chaos you're looking for, yeah, it's probably already there. And the best part? You can literally make your own version of any character. So, if you want to talk to your Skirk and want to call her mommy,
I could be your mommy if that's what you want.
Or any other character you're down bad for, go ahead, chat it out. Download Polybuzz using my link in the description and use my promo code to unlock a 3-day premium free trial so you can test all the advanced features. Trust me, once you start tweaking personalities and reactions, it gets addictive. But don't say I didn't warn you. Varka himself is expected to be a 5-star Anemo Claymore user, and most importantly, a true on-field main DPS. This is not another support, not another quick-swap buffer. This is the Titan of the Knights of Favonius, built to deal damage and stay on the field. After years of Anemo being dominated by supports and drivers, Varka finally breaks that mold. His arrival alone changes how people look at Anemo teams going forward, especially with Hexenzirkel and Nod Cry synergies becoming more common. So yeah, 6.4 already sets the tone. Heavy banners, very little breathing room, and a character people have waited literal years for. Now, let's move forward to version 6.5, because this is where Nod Cry's cast starts expanding in a much more mysterious way. Version 6.5 is shaping up to be a very lore-heavy patch, with characters who aren't loud on the surface, but feel extremely important underneath. In Phase 1 of 6.5, the spotlight is expected to go to Linnea. Linnea is an advisor for the Adventurers Guild and hails directly from Nod Cry. She's known for her extensive expertise in life sciences, and leaks describe her as a natural historian. That alone already sets her apart from the usual fighter-type characters. According to voice lines from Ino, Linnea is constantly traveling, collecting stories, research, and strange observations from different regions. Some players have even noticed a pink-haired character appearing briefly in earlier story scenes, whose hairstyle and silhouette closely match Linnea's, which makes her feel less like a brand new introduction, and more like someone who has been quietly present in the background all along. There's also a very interesting layer of speculation around Linnea. Some fans believe she could be connected to Snegurochka, mainly because of shared elf-like ear features. Whether that connection is literal or thematic is still unknown, but it does suggest that Linnea may be deeply tied to Nod Cry's lunar mechanics, especially lunar crystallize. Her kit details are still unclear, but early expectations point toward her being very good for lunar crystallized teams, possibly as an enabler or amplifier, rather than a raw DPS. If that's true, she could quietly become one of those characters who doesn't look flashy at first, but ends up being essential for future team comps. Phase 2 of version 6.5 is expected to introduce Gretel, and this one is especially interesting for Mondstadt fans. Gretel is described as Amber's talented trainee, a next-generation outrider who may look cute and harmless on the surface, but could play a key role if the Knights of Favonius reorganize after Varka's expedition. The common expectation is that Gretel will be a 4-star Anemo Bow character. That might not sound groundbreaking at first, but that kind of unit often becomes the glue of many teams. Cheap to build, flexible, great for exploration, events, and reaction setups. If she really is Amber's apprentice, then she also represents Mondstadt's future generation, which is a theme Hoyoverse has been slowly building toward. As for reruns in 6.5, this is where things get spicy. There are strong expectations for a Mavuika rerun, potentially paired with either Lauma or Nefer. Since Hoyoverse has already started rotating Nodcry reruns, it makes sense that one of those two shows up here. Whether they want to push Lunar Bloom or Lunar Crystallize harder will likely decide which one appears. Either way, 6.5 looks like a patch where new mystery characters and high-value reruns collide. By the way, make sure to subscribe if you guys are still watching the video. I'm doing a giveaway at 55k subscribers of 20 Welkins, so hit the hype button and subscribe. Now, let's talk about version 6.6, because this is where the story starts to feel much bigger than just banners. If version 6.6 opens with you hearing someone before you see them, then yes, that's exactly the Nicole vibe. Nicole Reen has already been established as a voice-only presence tied to Hexenzirkel level guidance. Witches in Genshin don't just react to events, they subtly nudge the entire world. If the story is escalating toward bigger cosmic rules, then Nicole's banner is where that escalation becomes obvious. Her arrival would almost certainly come with lore that recontextualizes Moon-era mechanics, Nodcry anomalies, and the Hexenzirkel's long-term plans. Current forecasts circulating in the community paint Nicole as a 5-star Pyro Sword character. That alone is already interesting, because it suggests a more aggressive, tempo-focused playstyle rather than pure support. Pairing her banner with a Citlali rerun is the practical move, giving players both story relevance and a proven stabilizer for team comps. That combination would make Phase 1 of 6.6 extremely attractive. In Phase 2 of version 6.6, Lowen is rumored to appear as a standard character. According to leaks, Lowen may act as a substitute or even an upgrade to Venti in certain Hexarray team compositions. In the story, Varka once mentioned that Lowen is even tougher than himself, while Mika describes him as someone with a unique charisma that pushes others to follow his bold and sometimes reckless strategies. If Lohen really does enter the standard pool here, it would be a huge shakeup for animo-focused team building. As for reruns in 6.6, Nodcry characters are expected to start cycling more aggressively. Nefer or Durin are both strong candidates, though personally, I think Durin has a higher chance of slipping into 6.7 instead. And now we arrive at version 6.7, which honestly feels like the emotional peak of the Nodcry arc. Phase 1 of 6.7 is expected to feature Sandrone, codenamed the Marionette. She's a key figure in the Nodcry storyline and is rumored to play a heroic role, ultimately making a profound sacrifice to save the Traveler during a critical mission. Gameplay-wise, Sandrone is anticipated to be either Electro or Cryo, designed as a specialist focused on superconduct reactions. That alone is wild, because superconduct has been one of the most underutilized reactions in the game for years. Lore-wise, she was created by Alain Guillotin to avoid fate itself, and unlike many constructs, she possesses a fully independent consciousness. That makes her story tragic, powerful, and very Genshin-coded. Columbina has very high chances of rerunning alongside Sandrone in Phase 1, making it a Harbinger-heavy banner that will absolutely destroy wallets. Then, in Phase 2 of 6.7, things calm down slightly, but still hit hard. Durin is expected to return, giving players a second chance at one of the Luna 3 era's most important units, while Mualani keeps Hydro Reaction players happy with fast, aggressive team shells. This is usually the phase where players decide whether they're preparing for the next massive story patch or finally finishing teams they've been half-building for months. Leaks also suggest that version 6.7 will introduce the Moon Map, which fits perfectly with Sandrone's story role and the overall escalation of Nodcry's lunar themes. Looking slightly beyond that, 6.8 and even 7 start entering heavy speculation territory. If Alice truly lands around this time, the community will absolutely lose it. Not just because she's Klee's mom, but because Alice is framed as someone who treats reality itself like a playground. Story-wise, she's a cheat code. She can connect Mondstadt, the Hexenzirkel, and the deepest mysteries of Teyvat in a single casual conversation. If she arrives as a 5-star Pyro Catalyst, expect a flashy, rule-breaking kit that feels intentionally chaotic. Starting from version 7, the complete map of Mare Javari is expected to be released, and following the conclusion of the Snezhnaya chapter, Genshin Impact 2 is set to launch. That alone tells you how important this stretch of patches really is. So yeah, my cuties, that's the updated Nodcry banner roadmap from 6.4 to 7. Let me know in the comments who you're saving for and how you're planning your polls. Thanks for watching, prepare your primos, and as always, peace out.